The biggest question most of us are probably asking when we are determining whether to reconcile after an affair is, can I ever really trust him again? I mean, is it even possible to trust him after this? And I don't know that I have the definitive answer to that particular question because we're all different, but I do have some great insights to help you figure out what would work best for you. So stay tuned. So, trust is something that is probably the biggest shattering in a betrayal situation. When trust is gone, a lot of other stuff disintegrates with it. Hope, dependency, love, a lot of stuff shatters after the affair. So, to rebuild trust is really a lengthy process, and it's a long process. So when we're asking ourselves, are we ever going to get there? Is that even going to happen? I want to kind of help us look at what we need before we can really trust again, and then where trust really needs to be rebuilt the most and first. So let's just start with what we need first. If we're trying to rebuild our marriage after the affair, and we're trying to you know rebuild this trust, then the first thing that needs to happen is we need to feel safe. We need to feel safe. And safety has to come before trust can be built. And here's what safety looks like for most of us. It's that our husband is completely and utterly transparent. Like we have passcodes to all devices. He tells us where he's going, who he's with. He doesn't get super defensive with us every time we ask a question. Like he's an open book. He knows he did something wrong, and he's trying to make it right by just helping us feel secure. Now, safety is built over time, meaning that our spouse has to be very consistent with this type of behavior. They're going to counseling, they're working on themselves, they are being an open book with us, fully transparent, these types of things. And over time, the safety, we start to feel safer in this marriage. Now, once safety is established, that's when we can start really sitting back and determining trust. And if you're struggling, if it has been years and you still don't trust him, but you can say you feel safe, like he's consistently done all of those other things, and you feel safe in the marriage, you just don't know if you can ever trust him again, I would suggest you ask yourself whether you've actually forgiven him. A lot of times when we don't forgive, we refuse to forgive, we don't think we can forgive, and we withhold that forgiveness. What that's doing is it means we're holding on to resentment, and we're holding on to anger, and we're holding on to sometimes desire for him to feel the pain we felt. And so if we're holding on to all of those things, we can't possibly trust a person we haven't forgiven. If we're still feeling as though they don't deserve forgiveness, or if we're still feeling resentful towards them, you don't trust people you resent. You don't trust people you wish bad things upon. It's just not the way it works. So if you haven't forgiven, that may be what's prohibiting you from trusting. So look into that. See if that's maybe part of the process. And then when it comes to trusting, this is probably really the biggest lesson and the most important lesson I learned throughout the years, is that the person I need to trust is myself. I need to trust myself. We put trust in things every day. We trust our vehicle to crank when we sit in it. We trust the chair underneath us when we sit down. We trust random people at the grocery store that the stuff they're scanning is scanning properly. We trust other drivers out on the road that they're driving their car and they're not intoxicated. We trust random things every single day. Every single day. So when it comes to trusting our spouse again, I think sometimes we're prohibited from doing that because we don't trust ourselves anymore. An affair strips us of the ability to trust our choices, the choices we made in our life. Sometimes we sit there and go, I can't believe I even married him. That was the dumbest decision of my life. Or I should have known the affair was going on. I feel so stupid. Or I'm so dumb for staying here. Why am I even here? And a lot, we don't trust any of the decisions we've made. I can't believe I didn't pick up on the fact that he was talking to her again, or whatever. We need to learn how to trust ourselves again, because we can't trust other people if we don't trust ourselves, because we can't even control other people, but we give random trust to people every day. But we have control over ourselves. This is where trust needs to live, because we can control our actions. We can control our own decisions, and we need to trust in ourselves to make the absolute best decisions we can possibly make for ourselves. That has to come first. So you've looked at yourself, you've said, have I forgiven him? Yes or no? And now you need to look at yourself and say, do I even trust myself? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, then you got to work on that. We need to learn how to trust ourselves. And here's the key here. I put my trust back in my husband several times over a long period of time. It's been 10 years since the first D-Day. There were multiple D-Days. And he still betrayed me. Again and again. So putting trust into somebody is no guarantee that they're not going to break it again. And I think that's why we're hesitant to give it, right? Because we don't think they're worthy of the trust. Now, I completely 100% trust my husband right now. Right now I do. I totally do. He has been consistent. He has been completely transparent and completely loving and patient and understanding, all the things I need, all the things that has proven to me that he is worthy of my trust. But here's the key. Here's the key. I put my trust in him after I put my trust in myself. I put trust in myself that I have set clear and solid boundaries around myself. If he is in contact with her again, we're done. That's it. It's over. And I know the next steps I'm going to take. I know. I have, in my mind, I know. And not only do I know what I will do, I know I'm going to be okay. I have complete faith and trust in myself that I will be able to get through that and I will be fine. That trust that I put in myself gave me the strength and the confidence after I saw all the continuous safety my husband was creating around me, after I had fully and totally forgiven him, to be able to then look at him and say, okay, I trust you. I trust you. And I don't give it blindly. Do not give blind trust. But I do give it with the full knowledge that he is doing everything he can to create safety and to be trustworthy in this relationship. And I trust myself. And I know what I'll do if he decides to break that trust again one day. Sadly, that's all we can do. That's all we can do. We can forgive them. We can trust ourselves again. And then we can learn to trust them. And that's really the best answer I have for the question of, can I really trust him again? That depends on your situation. That depends on what you're going through. If he is still being defensive and secretive, I wouldn't give trust. But if he's providing safety and he's been consistent in that for a long time, maybe it's time for you to start looking internally to yourself. Have you forgiven, and do you trust yourself? I hope that's helpful. I hope that helps kind of lay that out for you. There's no magic formula for trust, and it's always very individual and circumstantial. So look at your own circumstance, look at your own situation, and how you really feel. Go with your gut. If you feel like he's being honest, he probably is. So see if that helps. Go through that process and see about that. And make sure, though, if you do nothing else from this video, please do the practice of trusting yourself, because that's going to help you no matter what. It's going to help make you more confident in this relationship and in yourself. And it's going to help you practice really strong, firm boundaries, which is very important in our recovery. If you've liked this video and other videos I've made, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. That way you don't miss a single one. I have a Facebook group below. It's just for women like us, and I'd love for you to join that. I also have some free resources below. Please check them out. Again, they're completely free, no obligation. One's a PDF, one's a video you watch, and it's full of some great information that might be helpful to you. And in the meantime, do that examination. Have you forgiven? And do you trust yourself? And see if that doesn't help you on the road to trusting Him. Good luck.